Hello Yu-Gi-Oh players, welcome to another episode of What a Yu-Gi-Oh Player Needs to Know. In today's episode, we are going to talk about how to prevent your opponent from cheating. You got to pay attention to what your opponent is doing during the duel, calculating life points, searching for cards from sagging or reinforcement of the army or fire formation Tenki or X-Saber Dark Soul. You just have to pay attention to what they're doing. If your opponent is making a move, put your cards down. Stop shuffling your hand, and it's a big distraction. Just put your cards down. Look at your opponent as he's making the moves. You should know what cards you have set because you set them. You saw the cards in your hand before you set them, so there's no need to keep looking. Okay, just put your cards down and pay attention to them making a move. That is how you will prevent yourself from being cheated. Now let me give you some examples of your opponent cheating on you. Okay, palming, sleeving, lapping, it's all the same thing. It's where your opponent takes one or more cards, okay, and put it in their sleeves, even mapping, they put it under that matting. They put the card under their mat, they put it in their lap, they put it in their palm so you won't be able to see it. And when you're shuffling and cutting, and after you shuffle and cut and you give them the deck, they will take the card from the sleeves, from the palm, under the mat, slide it into the top of the deck, or pretend they drop the card in their lap and switch it with a card that's already in their lap that they want in their deck. You have to look at your opponent to prevent that. You have to pay attention to what they're doing. Even if it's not the first turn and you guys didn't, even if after you finish cutting and shuffling, when your opponent searches the deck and they drop the card in their lap, you have to pay attention. They can lap anytime. They can easily take a card from the sleeve, palm, under their mat, or lap and put it in their hand. From a sagging search, or a reinforcement of the army, or a dark soul, anything that searches the deck. Your opponent can cheat using those methods. Here's another thing. From searches. Your opponent is searching the card from their deck, okay, and they ask with the life points. Or they try to distract you by saying how many cards in your hand. They try to take that brief second that you are trying to figure out how many cards in your hand or which life points for them to search out a card, put it in their hand without you seeing it. And you're going to ask, what did you get? And they're going to show you a card that's not the card that they searched. They could have searched Heavy Storm, Mind Control, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn. A lot of people in Yu-Gi-Oh feel cheated a lot of times on the duel. Especially when they're winning and you're like, okay, what are the chances you're going to get this card? And they get it. You're like, oh, that guy, how did he do that? He must have cheated. Just came back all of a sudden. That was almost impossible. And there are people who do draw the card they need honestly. Okay? Honestly. Now, another way people could be cheating is life points. You're calculating life points, they are calculating life points. You have the life points at 5,000. Okay? You might have not taken their life points. And they have their life points at maybe 1,000. Okay? So you have their life points at 5,000. They have their life points at 1,000. And they say, what you got life? What is life? Okay? And you say 5,000. They're going to say, well, yeah, it's 5,000. When honestly, it's really at 1,000 because you didn't calculate. Your opponent is going to cheat because of your mistakes and you not paying attention. Okay? So you have to take down life points. Both of you guys have to take down life points. When someone is taking down life, make sure your opponent is not doing anything while you're taking down life. You can be at your calculator, putting in life, and they can do something. Okay? Another way a Yu-Gi-Oh player could cheat could be adding cards from the graveyard to the hand, or adding cards from the remove from play pile to the hand. I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh players try to do that on me during a tournament. They're like Monster Reborn, and he reborn a card from the bandage zone. I'm like, wait, that's bandage. Oh. So Yu-Gi-Oh players will try to do things that they know is wrong, but they will try to assume that the person they're playing is not paying attention or do not know. Because they could get away with it if you let them. Here's another big example. Thunder King Monster Reborn. Your opponent has Thunder King on the field, you have to be Monster Reborn. They will try to negate it even though they know that deep down inside the Thunder King cannot negate Monster Reborn. And if you say, yeah, it says negate special summon, so why couldn't it negate Monster Reborn? And you let them, they will get away with it. Because you did not know. Also, if they attempt to negate Monster Reborn and you know that Thunder King cannot negate Monster Reborn, they will assume that they didn't know that at all. So it's really difficult to say, oh, that person is cheating, because that person can pretend he's new and he doesn't know. Some Yu-Gi-Oh players draw from the bottom of the deck. And if you are a very skilled cheater, drawing from the bottom of the deck can almost look as if you drew from the top of your deck. So you must pay attention to that. Some Yu-Gi-Oh players sleeve their cards differently. For example, they have white sleeves, but they have two brands of sleeves. One are smaller than the other. So when you're shuffling, you can feel the difference between the cards and somehow put that card on top of your deck or bottom of the deck or wherever you want. So a good way to prevent that or to spot that is simply take the deck and turn it on the side. Not the way you can see his cards, but where you can see the difference in the cards. Because usually if the card is bigger, it will stand out. One thing I hate about Yu-Gi-Oh players when they're shuffling, I hate when they are looking down, because it's so hard to tell whether they're looking at the bottom card of your deck. Also, when I was playing this guy, he was shuffling my deck, he dropped a card. And some Yu-Gi-Oh players will drop a card from your deck to see what deck you're playing with. And that's a big advantage. They can say, well, I'm going to play this way against this deck because I know this way wins. So, if your opponent is dropping cards, I mean, that could be a legit way of cheating. And it's really hard to call, oh, Judge, he's dropping my cards, seeing what deck I'm playing before we even start. He might get a warning. Okay? If you see him cheating again, or you might think he's cheating again, you call the judge again, gets a game loss. Some Yu-Gi-Oh players like to take a long time to make their move. And this could cause you, the opponent, to forget what's going on. You might say, oh, he's going to make his move. Come on, man. Make your move, man. And he could have summoned already. And then, okay, he's about to go for games like, oh, what's life? Summon. And you probably forgot that he already summoned that turn, and then he's swinging for game, and you didn't notice that he summoned already. So even though the opponent's taking a long time, you can call a judge on that to make sure he speeds up. Okay, you can just pay attention and say, oh wait, dude, you already normal summoned already. Or say there's a card that says you cannot special summon again this turn, like Power Duality. I've seen a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players play Power Duality, taking a long time, talking about, oh wait, you know what, I can go for game. And your opponent forget that they play pot and they will special summon and swing for game. So in summary, your opponent will try to manipulate you, make you do things that are unnecessary by asking how many cards in hand or calculate life. They will try to cheat you if you do not pay attention. They will try to take advantage of you if they see that they could. So, like it's been saying this whole video, you just have to look at your opponent and pay attention and take things slow, okay? Not too slow where you're lagging, lag, but you just have to pay attention and be conscious of what's going on around you and what your opponent is doing. So, thanks for watching what a Yu-Gi-Oh player needs to know to pay attention. And thanks for watching your Yu-Gi-Oh channel, the only Yu-Gi-Oh channel you need.